All right, Woody, it's in the shop. Just did a couple big burnouts down the street. I got to drain all the fuel in this thing and get things ready because the other motor's going to be ready. So this thing's going to get yanked out at some point. But there's the fuel cell. It's like 5 gallons, and that's not a lot. There's a vacuum pump. It pulls vacuum like a PVC on the engine. Actually, valve covers dump into this little tank here, and the vacuum pump is pulling on that. So that way oil and what have you doesn't go into the pump over there. This is a puke tank for that. Once it goes into there, so then there's no way any oil can go on the track. This is just a little fuel pump, and the line goes up to the injector, so you can either squirt fuel in with a little bottle like that, which works the best, but I can also dump some in when I'm starting the thing up to put some heat in the motor. And then that's the little fuel tank there. Not a lot. This car is rare because a lot of race cars I see at the track have no fire system. Here's a nozzle, goes up there, goes in. There's another nozzle over there. There's another nozzle over there, and then there's a nozzle here. The solenoid's gonna get taken off. Actually, it's gonna get moved probably to the other side. So then what this one will do is dump fuel into the engine like that one does, but a metered amount. So if I want to fatten it up to cool it down, there's a magneto. That thing is a couple of amps. If you have a pacemaker, you can't be within 25 feet of the car because of the frequency this thing puts off. These cables are huge. If you got zapped by this thing, it'll kill you twice. It only takes 1 amp to kill you. This is 2. Pretty simple. It's just a big throttle. Runs that valve right there. And that's like a ball valve on the hose. Similar. These are relief valves, so that way you can tailor the fuel curve. And the line just goes right to the fuel pump. There's the fuel pump right there. It runs right off the camshaft. This is a shut-off valve from in the car right here. Shuts all the fuel off. These are 2.5-inch headers. Each pipe on this engine is the size of the tailpipe on my Impala. One tailpipe. And it dumps into a 5-inch header right there. That's 5 inches, man. That's a big sucker. There's Archie Bunker. He's all tattooed up because the car's name is Old School. See in the bottom. Good humor. So here's the office. You look up there. This one is fire system, and this one is the parachute. I'm going to change that down there. So it's just to the side of this lever, and I just pull it. Because I don't want to be reaching my arm up. At 155 miles an hour, it's kind of hairy. This is accumulator. You can see the gauge right there. That lets me know how much oil pressure is in this reservoir. And right now the valve is closed. I should go on the other side. Here's the panel. There's a switch panel. I used to have more electronics when I was running this ignition system over here, which is like a computer. but right now I'm running a magneto, so we're only using a starter and a ignition switch right there. That's it. And then this gauge tells me what the engine temp is, the cylinder head. That's boost, oil pressure, and that was engine vacuum. But I don't have any engine vacuum, so I just left it in there. That's trans pressure right there. That tells me trans. Each gear I know what pressure is. So if there's a problem in a certain gear or something, or I'm having an issue, I just look at what the pressure is and I can make an opinion off of that. It's transmission pressure, transmission temperature, and that'll get moved. Alright, there's that other ignition system, and then there's more ignition stuff underneath there. That stuff controls the other stuff, but I wanted to make this car look clean. You know, simple. Keep it simple, stupid. Yeah, it's not that simple. There's the fire system over there. Let me go over there. There you can see that accumulator. So what that does is oil pressure. If there's ever a drop in oil pressure, this thing's got 2 quarts in it, it'll make up. There's the valve. But I got to move this whole thing all the way down there. So this connection is right down there, because I got to put another seat in here. I'm going to see if I can take my wife for a lunch. I'm pretty sure they'll let me. Just a second gear. She deserves it. Full cage, everything. This is for the shifter. Yep, that's off. That's nitrogen, or you could put nitrous in there, but whatever. The line goes over to this shifter, and once I'm in first right here, the thing will automatically shift into second and then third at I think 7,500 RPM. Not sure. I'd have to look what's in there. I don't give a shit. I'll just shift myself. Now here's the artwork my buddy did. This is under like 5 coats of clear. It's unbelievable. I don't know if you can get all the detail in this, but it's just crazy. All the hairs and everything. There's something else like on his feet. Look at this. I could never afford anything before. Anything custom. That's real gold leaf. And to wait for that. My buddy Dave's like, yeah, I did this one. It's a sticker. Hang on, let me open the trunk. Real trunk, still opens with a key and everything, all the shit. Oh, let me put the thing up. Alright, so I went to one big battery. I got to make that mount better, because before I had 2 batteries going like this in here. And I don't really need all that extra weight. All I'm doing is starting the car. And you know this switch. On, pull. Because if you hit the wall, usually you back into the wall. But my buddy did all this tin work. Under here. Everything's bead rolled. He did a nice job. I got this car sealed up, so when I do a burnout, it doesn't, you know, fill up the compartment. Here's my chute. That's off of my buddy's Top Fuel dragster. One of them. Now let's take a look under here. Shit. That's a fabricated rear end. Look at that anti-sway bar. That thing's like 1 3/8 inches. Ladder bars go on there. There's the other mount over there. Coilovers. I got my transmission cooler tucked up in there. You see between the... There's a cooler for the trans with a fan. Gotta see these arms. My buddy and I machined these. That's for the stabilizer. Both pieces. Pretty cool, huh? Oh, this hurts. Yeah, there's a lot going on in there. That transmission cost me more than a bunch of my cars. Alright. Look at, there's like, that's a solid 3/8 of rubber. That side's untouched. So you can look, you can see where my buddy Dave got under here. And he'll grab a handful of this and he'll wad it up and give it to kids. My freaking hands turn black. What a jerk. But hey, man. That's the racetrack. All right, man. It's a bad motor scooter. So all this had to be all redone. From this all back, everything. This got totally, I don't even want to think about it. Anyhow, it looks fucking perfect. Wet sanded. I mean, this is just like glass. Alright. And then when I get the engine out of here and we start taking it apart, I'll show you this valve train in this thing. It's so expensive, I can't believe it. Nothing's cheap, but anyhow, this engine is unbelievable for what it does. I'm very proud of that. I've got another set of heads. Oh, those are back here, that's right. I'm working on them. These are some nice big Merlin heads. The intake ports are huge on these things. And the castings are just beautiful. You don't have to do anything. I just had to clean up around the valve here and all this stuff, and then for the most part these are pretty good. But then I'm gonna send them out and have them resurfaced and just basically make them like new. But like when he does the valve job, these are massive valves. He doesn't have to do much of anything. It's just come and kiss the seat. But these, oh, this is unbelievable. This is so awesome. I don't have to do shit to these. And then the exhaust port, that's nice. I did some work in here. I had to clean this up because this was a little bit nasty. And now it's beautiful. Like I said, they're just going to clean the seat up. These valves are beautiful. They can get the shit beat out of them. I'm not done with them. The only thing is they're heavy. And I wish I had Inconel valves. That's down the road. So these heads are going to go on that engine, and that'll be an all iron 850. Yeah, it should run 850s. And then the heads I was going to put on it, I got over here. So these are like almost identical, but these are GM ones. And then these ones have had a little bit of work done to them. So these are the heads that I was going to put on it. And I thought, well, then I found the other heads over there. And I was like, well, these are going to be saved for something else. So these ones are the lesser of the best. These are going to go on my Impala. And that thing will scream even better. It should run a little better. It does run really good right now. It ran 12.7, but with these heads, it'll really move out. Not the end of the world. This is a 632. I believe it. This is a dart block. This thing can handle like 3,000 horsepower or whatever. There's massive material around these cylinder walls and everything. It's just a huge upgrade. Look at this, roller bearings for the cam. When you put the cam in here, you can just go, it'll just spin. So that frees up a lot. These are the pistons out of my other one. These are out of my 638. That was a world record holder. It set the world record for the fastest pontoon boat down in the Ozarks. The thing had 3 days on it. Look at these pistons. It had 3 days on it. And then it broke a rod. But I got that thing fixed. So these pistons are just massive. They're bigger than the 632. It won't even fit in there. Not by much. We're only talking like 10 thousandths. But so this is just a little bit smaller bore. This engine here is going to end up with a 4-inch stroke in it. It'll probably be a 598 or something, but just a massive torque motor up on the top end. Anyhow, I got to go in. There's the monster. The whole front end comes off. There, that thing is badass. Later, Pop.